Hello and welcome to the Football Manager 2007 tutorial videos. Within this tutorial, we'll be looking at in-game tactics for Football Manager 2007. Whilst there is only so much you can do once the referee blows that first whistle, you must make sure that whatever you do during a game doesn't have a negative effect on your team's performance. So here are some tips. Team talks are one of the more direct ways to affect your players, and for the first time in Football Manager, you can now issue a pre-match team talk, as well as half-time and post-match talks. Quite what you decide to issue for a team talk, and whether you treat your star players differently, is entirely up to you. You are the manager after all. Team instructions can be tweaked or left as is. They're fairly balanced by default, and easy tackling will help ensure that things don't get too heated during the friendly matches, as well as hopefully helping to minimise injuries to playing staff. Different managers like to use subs in different ways. Some will make all of their substitutions regardless of how the game is going, simply to keep players from becoming too tired. Others won't change a winning team regardless of how tired the team is. The decision is basically yours, but here are some things to bear in mind. If you've made all of your subs and your keeper picks up an injury, this can spell serious trouble and could lead to a lot of goals against you. The longer you play ridiculously attacking football whilst you're searching for an equaliser, the more likely you are to be hit on the break by your opponents. Specifically, bear in mind that widespread substitutions isn't necessarily the best way to mix things up. More often than not, one sub can turn the game on its head equally as well. For lower ability players, you may find it easier to keep things simple. It will help to not give them a huge amount of instructions, and especially never give instructions which might potentially cause conflict. Instructions to be the most cautious with are those like forward runs, which might drag a vital player out of position. When setting positions, don't just look at individual players. Think of the effect of the changes upon the team as a whole. For example, just because all of your midfielders are great at dribbling and fast, doesn't mean asking them all to do forward runs is a good idea. Otherwise, you'll find yourself caught out when they're all pushed up front. On the 2D match engine, you'll see a green cross on players occasionally, and this indicates a niggling injury. You must be vigilant with these as well. Although your players can continue playing with a small knock, it could very well cost your team in that game, as he may not be able to play to his full potential, and it will increase the likelihood of the injury becoming serious. Finally, you can get a general idea of opponent tactics by simply looking at their shape as a unit of the pitch. If one or more players seems to be dominating, it's always worth trying to change your player instructions to counter this, i.e., if the commentary indicates that an opposition defender is winning everything in the air, consider keeping the ball on the floor, or even dropping your striker back a little off him so that the defender is left with a dilemma.